Facebook. How's it going? So I have been watching us go to war today. And I've been watching for a couple days, knowing that this was coming because, of course, it's coming. It's the next natural step in the progression that's happening in the country. And I've been watching. I've been having friends send me memes. And hi, Tasha. I've had friends send me memes about Trump supporters signing up and going to the front lines. I have had very, very close friends and people that I love very much talk about how all the Trump supporters need to, hey, Paul, need to just join up and get out. And I'm going to express a really unpopular opinion here. I know that what the President of the United States is doing is wrong. Hi, Heather. I know that we have no business being in the Middle East. I've said that for years. I am speaking as the wife of a 2-time war veteran with PTSD. I know that this shit is wrong. I totally smell a rat. We knew this was coming. This is not a big shock to anybody, but I have to say something. Wishing his supporters a front row seat in a war is wrong. It's playing God. It's tantamount to wishing somebody dead, if not in their body, then in their soul. It is wishing someone a lifetime of nightmares and struggle and conflict. It is intentionally and willfully intending for someone to go have an experience that they will never, ever, ever forget. I know that the people who voted for Donald Trump are not your favorite people. I also know that some of the people who voted for Donald Trump are some of my favorite people. I know that these people who voted for the current sitting president of the United States of America do not deserve a lifetime of painful injuries, especially when they are going to be sent back to a country that is not ready to accept them, love them, or care for them in any fashion. They don't deserve to be on the front lines, and they don't deserve to be separated from their families for months at a time, only come home to a place that cannot care for their needs. By saying that all of Donald Trump's supporters need to go to the Middle East and fight in this war that we are creating means that we are not taking into account as progressives the fact that war does not discriminate. This is not something where you get to send all of the Trump supporters over there and pull all the people that you love and have the same political beliefs as you do home. That's not how this works. War takes who it takes, and it leaves behind the scarred and the wounded. Progressives do not get to decide who goes to war and who comes home. And we do not get to decide who is killed, who is injured, and who lives with a lifetime of nightmares and dissociation and pain. War does not choose who goes to the gallows and the front lines. This glib, willy-nilly positioning and this, half-assed commenting on social media that Trump supporters need to go on the front lines is completely the antithesis to what we should be standing up for as progressives. Has the so-called progressive movement become so hardened and callous that it would choose to torture a select group of humanity, while at the same time speaking about how we need to save kids in cages? And we have to save the world from global warming for our generations ahead of us? Have we become so callous as a group of people that we are not recognizing that the minute we type the words, "Dear Donald Trump supporter, if you support this man, get your ass to the military. Get your ass to Iran." I live with a veteran. One of the things that I've noted is that most of the people who are posting these things don't live with a veteran every day in their homes. Someone who has fought in these wars, someone who has had these experiences. I see the ravages of war. I saw what it did to my grandpa. I've seen what it's done to my husband. I look in the eyes of our friends who voted for Donald Trump, and I see what war has done to those men. There is another way to respond to the senseless escalation of force, not just in the Middle East, but right here at home. And it is not to ask Trump's supporters to go serve on the front lines of this senseless and baseless action. In this very nation, on this very day, at this very moment, women's bodies are under attack. Children are being assaulted in cages. Veterans are losing their health care by the second. Prisoners are being left to starve. The elderly are homeless. The farmers are losing their livelihoods. The Jews are being murdered. Black trans women are dying in droves. And here we are talking about, thank you, Lindsay, talking about sending a group of human beings to fight in an action, and we don't even know what's going to happen. And we're not even talking about the fact that many people who do not support this president are over there right now, being bombed right now. You don't know if those people supported the president. In fact, my guess is that half of them don't. Maybe more. But this callous reaction means that it's time for a different conversation. It is time for us to stop playing the progressive God. All the shit I get on my social media about Christianity being evil, about how organized religion is so terrible and so bad, and from progressives. And yet here we are as a progressive movement talking about playing God with people's lives because we don't like what the current sitting president of the United States of America is doing. I don't like it either. But you know what I don't like? I don't like having to tell my husband selectively what's going on over there because I know what his reaction is going to be. I know that it's about fear. We're talking about getting a goddamn generator because he's afraid. I don't want to live that life. And I'm sick and tired of people who are progressive throwing around this idea that they get to send a chunk of humanity selectively to those lines. We have a choice in this country about whether or not we join the military, and it is indeed a choice. For those of you who fight for choice every single day for women's bodies and autonomy, you need to be putting your money where your mouth is. Joining the military is a choice, and it's not just made by conservative Republicans who support the current sitting president. It's time for a different conversation. And I want to ask you this question. If Jesus, Martin Luther King Jr., and your favorite progressive hero walked into your living room right now and watched what you were typing on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, would they be proud of you? Would the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought tirelessly evil, true evil, with love and with compassion and with grace, would he walk into your living room right now and look at what you typed about sending Trump supporters to the gallows and give you an applause and say, nice job? Good job, progressive. Good job fighting the good fight. No, I submit to you he would not. And in fact, I submit to you that your favorite progressive heroes, Martin Luther King and Jesus, would look at you and look at the rhetoric that you're spreading and look at this venom of actually talking about sending people to their death, and they would think, what the hell are you thinking? Why would you say such cruel things? Why would you send a certain chunk of people to die because you don't like their politics? That is not what this country was founded on. We were founded on ideals of democracy and choices and a constitution that says that you don't get to unfairly kill people. It's murder. Yes, Heather, have we learned nothing? Here's my alternative for you. Because, you know, when I get on a good preach and I get on a good tear, I love you too, Amy. I'm very upset. I've got an alternative for all y'all progressives. And I'm saying this in quotes because I'm so fucking pissed off at some of you. I am so disgusted at some of you. I am so sad that you would so take human life so for granted by saying such distasteful and disheartening things. So here's my alternative for all y'all. Work to get 10 more seats in the House and save the seats the Democrats already have. If you are so concerned about this country and this nation, then you will put every single bit of man and woman power you have into preserving the Democratic seats that the Democrats hold and getting 10 more. You will not sit here on the internet and try and send people to their deaths because you're mad at their damn president. If you really want to change the narrative in this nation, then you will work tirelessly to flip the Senate and get rid of Mitch McConnell so that we can save our court systems that are being systematically destroyed by people who haven't even practiced law. If you are so damned concerned about the United States of America in 2020, you will stop talking about sending men and women to their inevitable death, whether it's the death of their soul or their physical body in a war that we don't understand. It doesn't make you look progressive, and it doesn't make you look pretty to be talking this way. This is not why I have been a feminist since I was 17 years old. This is not why I consider myself deeply pro-choice. This is not the kind of party and the kind of politics that I want to be associated with. We are better than this. The very foundations upon which I call myself a progressive are being systematically destroyed because you cannot see how you are falling right into the trap of hatred and anger and disillusion. There is no grace in the words, if you support this president, sign up for this war. War doesn't work like that. War doesn't pick its victims based on their political party. War systematically destroys the very fiber of the humans who fight in it. It is destruction. And it doesn't pick people based on whether or not they voted for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. I sit daily with the men and women who voted for the President of the United States of America as he is sitting in the Oval Office today. And I love them. And I talk to them and I try. Yes, an eye for an eye doesn't make any sense ever. It's why we have the system that we have, the prison system in this country that we have. We cannot live in this hypocrisy. I look at these people across my dinner table and I break bread with them. Some of them are realizing that they may have made a mistake, and some of them are still supporting their president. It is not for us to choose which ones of us die and which one of us lives. And I'm going to close with a couple of quotes here. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. That is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant." Let me just give you that one more time. Right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. This is a moment in the beginning of the next 50 years of our lives. This is not going to be done in 2020 or 2024 or 2028. This is a long haul process, y'all. This is a long game. This is not going to be over this year. Thank you, Tasha, for your comment. The worst thing is to talk about how people need to die. It does make us no better than conservatives who say that all liberals need to die. Martin Luther King Jr., the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. also said, "Man must evolve for all human conflict a method which rejects revenge, aggression, and retaliation. The foundation of such a method is love." We must not, as a progressive movement, fall into revenge and retaliation and aggression. It doesn't work. We have proof for the last 4 years that that doesn't work. The only way that we stop this insanity is through love and connection, and by seeing people who don't agree with us. That is the only way we will move forward as a nation. Thank you, Julia. I'm glad you think this is a great message. Romans 12:21. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. We cannot, as a progressive body of human beings, continue to think we will triumph by using the master's tool to dismantle the master's house. It doesn't work that way. We have to go a different route. 1 Thessalonians 5:15. Make sure that nobody pays back wrong for wrong, but always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. Always strive to do what is good for each other and for everyone else. It is not by insisting that Trump supporters go to the front lines of a war that we don't understand. That is not for us. And I just have one more thing to say before I wrap this up. I love all y'all in my life. All of you. You teach me. You bring me gifts. You show me how to create. You support me in my business. You support me in my relationships. You support me in my parenting. You support me in all these crazy, radical, ridiculous ideas I have about buying castles and building dreams and all the stuff that I do. I love all of you so deeply for being in my world. But I cannot and will not let you off the hook for so callously saying that you want to send people to their death. I'm going to hold your feet to the fire because I have not been fighting my entire life for what I believe and know is true. And that is that love and compassion and connection and vulnerability is the way that we change the world. I hope that you will take this video and you will share it on your Facebook pages and on your Twitter feeds, and you will email it to your friends. Because I need you to. I need you to spread this message. We can't keep doing what we're doing. It's wrong. It's just wrong. Good night.